Hello, this is Hope Roski, subbing in for Mike Briggs with Briggs on Books. Well, today we have a special guest coming in to us, and her name is Julian Ryan. Julian, how are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm always happy to meet somebody that Mike knows, and I'm always happy to talk about books and work and life. So I'm excited to meet you.
Well, I tell you what, I'm thrilled because I had an opportunity to read up about you and indulge a little bit in the summary of your books. And so I'm really ready to get into this interview we
Ah,
have here. And the first book I'd really like to talk to you about is Learned in Queen's Communication Playbook, Winning Against Digital Distraction. Now, that is a pretty big name. So if I'm breaking it down where you learned it in Queens, right? Okay, can't do
yes.
the accent, but you learned it in Queens. So if you learned it in Queens, what did you learn, and then how did that really become a part of your book?
Thank you. Started as a complaint, and that was my Learned in Queens was a call to action to say to common sense. I worked in human resource, I worked in business, I ran a school as well, and most of our challenges are about people not listening to each other, not paying attention, and not remembering what we said. So that was my response when somebody was saying that's really smart. Well, I learned it in Queens. It's all common sense. So, and then, and then there's a part two to that question.
So the other part is, winning against digital distraction. Okay, so that's a big part. When we talk about the digital age and digital distraction. Tell me, where do you see our society in that, and how do you work with people? Because I know you also do coaching. How do you work with people in making things better?
I work with people to pay attention and pick their head up off these phones. They're brilliant, they're helpful, they make our lives easier, but a lot of times we get so used to having an internal dialogue with ourselves because we're writing our own scripts. We're assuming we know how that person is thinking and feeling. The first thing I always encourage people is to step back and pay attention to their assumptions, because usually what we're assuming is happening in that answer or in the room that we're heading into, that conference room, is not correct. We've written the whole dialogue, we pretend that we know everything that's going on, and usually we're wrong. So I work with people to test their assumptions, test their stories, and why they're writing the scripts for themselves, and help them get out of their own way. But I use some humor because a little humor is disruptive. And what happens when we use humor? We get to laugh, we get to relax, and then we get to have feedback,
Well, and
which is
it's
the
it's
most important
interesting.
thing.
No, and
And
it's
take some
interesting you
action.
say that. Yes. Well, I have a cousin who does laughter yoga. He actually teaches
Ah,
it. And so the other, part of it too is laughter is good medicine because it's releasing all these little happy serotonin, endorphins all over, you. And it's a way of becoming very uplifted with humor. And so it's you found a way to meld all of this in your book. Now, when was it that you actually published this book?
I published the book during COVID, which was a lot of people's very busy creative period. So when I was locked away, I had the draft of the book, which had started its life as a speech like a year or so before. And I was like, well, if I don't use this opportunity to sit down and write it, when am I going to write it? So I wrote the book, and then I did the smartest thing you can do with any creative project, or whether it's at work or at home or wherever. I got guidance and asked some very smart people, a friend of mine who is an editor, to take a look at it. And then I had a couple of writing groups. But at the essence, it was we all need to get out of our own way. And that was the essence of what the original speech was. We make assumptions, we think we know the best, and we're usually wrong. So the book was basically poking some fun at all of us to say, you and me, we're in the same boat. We need to listen, we need to pay attention, and develop the power of the pause. Ask a question, wait for answers, and develop a little patience. And then the most amazing advice I give, which
And
I have to take sometimes we're wrong. And we have to own up to that part. but
Right.
I make it fun. I make it fun to be in trouble. And, so we can and move forward. It's all this work. I would love to tell you, I cooked this up in a science lab. I didn't. I did it. I started a lot of this thinking when I was in human resources or running big groups of teams as a management, and found
Right.
out I spent more time trying to sort out the dialogue of what was going on with people and their people dynamics. And humans will make us crazy, but if we take a stab at actually taking a pause and figuring out what are we contributing to the situation and how we can get out of our own way, amazing things happen.
And
So
even with couples, it's the same thing.
oh
You
yeah.
talk about the dynamic of couples. One of the things that I really like that you created was a workbook. And, I think with businesses or schools or where people in lines of work and even in couples where you kind of need to, like you say, step back and get out of your own way. Tell me a little bit about the workbook.
Well, the workbook and the book is partly inspired by my husband as you speak about marriage, because he never met a sentence he couldn't make longer. And he's not really great at listening. He's a good guy, love him, been with him forever, but he is my test academy. So the workbook came out of the fact that first I wanted to be on more platforms around the world, English speaking platforms, and then in all the big booksellers too. Amazon's great, but Barnes and Nobles and all that stuff. So that was a practical answer, because there's so many English speaking platforms. But I also know the workbook was meant to say, look, I want to also have a conversation with the reader after they read the humorous part of the book. And they're going, well, now what? This part breaks it down step by steps and has a running conversation with people about working on the exercises, the 8 rules, but I do it in a very humorous way. Like when somebody wants to turn the page, I'm actually giving out to them and say, what do you mean you're not done with that exercise? You need to work on that page a little more. Go back. So I'm assuming I know what all of you are going to do, like all of us, like page through and speed through the exercises.
Well,
The goal is
and the
to just
thing
learn.
is
Oh,
too, is
sorry.
you have quite a background. Where have you led some of your conferences? Because it's quite impressive where you've been able to speak.
Hmm. Where or how?
Where have you had the opportunity? Because you have had the opportunity to work with larger groups and businesses, and if people are looking to reach out to you to bring you in, maybe you could just describe some of the conferences that you've done or where you've had an opportunity to speak.
I have done conferences with women leadership groups where they're looking to empower and work with their skill sets and lead their teams when they go back to their office. I worked with supply chain and manufacturing people. I've worked with consulting houses. And then more recently, I even worked with an AI conference, artificial intelligence. I am not an artificial intelligence expert, although I did read so much about it. But my goal there was to be the keynote and kick off person, talking about the human dynamic never leaves us, no matter where we're working with technology or not. So I was the humor speaker who played with the whole concept about AI. One example I had there was I turned AI into a little bit of a gangster, because we always sometimes feel like AI is going to fix all of our communication problems. So my joke in one of the slides was like, you got data, you want to do something with, you need to get rid of it, you don't know what to talk about, come to me, I can help you. But I look for the irony and the humor that may be happening in that situation. But why my speeches work really well is there's thought behind it. There's a lot of research about what a tool or technique is being used, but also to disrupt our thinking. How can we be better? How do we need to get out of our own way? And no matter what we're using, humans still have to interact, and we still have to learn those skills of listening and connection with each other.
Well, I'm
So
going to pivot just a little bit here because, we're talking about humanity here. So one of the other books that you've had the opportunity to publish is Echoes of Humanity. And it truly focuses on the human condition. And its base is talking about real life issues such as people who have disabilities, people who have dealt with domestic violence or are dealing with ADHD, weight loss, so many things, and more, people are falling into, sadly, depression, and there's just a plethora of things, especially in today's world. And after reading this book, what do you think readers will take away from this who may be facing some of those challenges, not just within themselves, but maybe those that they love?
The second book, which I was a contributor to, and I can tell you a little bit how that came to be, we are all connected. Every human, because the women who contributed and the one gentleman, my partner who contributed, are located around the globe, from Africa to Asia to North America. Everyone shares a very similar conditions about where grief is, challenge, loss, resilience, things that we are all navigating. And what I loved about the book when I was invited by the author Kelly Markey to contribute it is the honesty. People taking their pain and playing it forward for somebody's purpose. It made it their purpose that they were going to use some of their life's challenges for somebody else's benefit. So somebody else could be stronger and learn and know that they're not alone out there and would feel supported. When I contributed to the book, I played off a little of the work I was doing with storytelling and the book and the speech, but I also wanted to give some context to say behind every humorous story, there's lots of things that contribute to my experience, and that one of the most powerful things is when we start to appreciate our own story and how we can use it. I think so much anger is out there that folks do not think they're seen, heard, or appreciated and respected. When we start to do that and just embrace our situation, it frees us up to listen to other people and to get context. So the book, The Echoes of Healing, was a beautiful exercise in building human connection and realizing we're all related, and that we can help each other, in the process and get through things. So
Well,
thank you for mentioning that book as well.
right, and what an honor to be able to have contributed to that book. So, Julian, I would like to thank you so much for being on the show. Again, your two books, one is Learned It in Queens, Communication Playbook, Winning Against Digital Distraction, and the other one you contributed to is called Echoes of Humanity. How can viewers reach you, or if they want to reach out to you or purchase a book?
Well, I have my website, first and foremost, jryanpartners.com, easy to find, and then all the landing pages for the book are there. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so Julian Ryan, you can find me. I'm on a podcast. I'm always contributing. I write. So that's one place. And then if you Google me, which I do on some occasions, see what I'm doing to remind me what I've been doing, you can find me there. I love talking and meeting with groups. I love working with teams together, because I think when we empower each other with our stories, we are capable about doing so many good things. So,
Well,
strong believer in that. And I appreciate folks like you who are championing other people's stories and books. I think that's wonderful.
absolutely. You are a talented lady. And Julian Ryan, I thank you so much for joining us today. And look forward to hopefully interviewing you again sometime in the near future.
Thank you. Be in touch.
You
And I
bet.
look forward to that. All right. Cheers. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too. This is Hope Roski with Briggs on Books. Hello, this is Hope Roski with Business Arts and Events. Well, are you looking for that special holiday gift? Because I know some of you viewers are. Well, if you are and you're looking at jewelry, look no further than the Vault. I'm here with owner Gary Yervin. Gary, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. What a pleasure it is to be here, and I think we're going to have a nice time chatting and enlightening our viewers. Is just what we do.
Absolutely. One of the things that I really like about when I walk into the Vault, it's very welcoming. And you're located in Fig Garden Village, which is on the corner of Palm and Shaw, centrally located
Yes,
in
we
Fresno. And I really, when you walk in, it's just like you're greeted with warmth, with friendliness. It's easy to view your items. So tell the viewers a little bit about what they can expect when they come in.
Well, when you come in, we really pay attention to the needs that you have and what you're looking for. We try to ask questions as to the type of ring you might want or the gift you're looking to purchase for that special occasion. But everything matters to us. We really care about our customers, and we really are very much connected to what they're there for, and we want to provide that service. We want to make you feel at home, whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you want to buy. We certainly don't want to make you feel uneasy. We want that feeling that there's no pressure, and we're there to just serve you as our customer, and that's what we do.
And how many years have you been in business?
Yeah, I would, just looking back, about 40 years.
Oh my goodness. Well, see, that
been a
says
long time.
that says a lot about you
Well,
and your wife, beautiful wife,
Yes,
Elaine.
yes. Couldn't have done it without Elaine. Very special. She's been by my side the whole time, and we've worked together hand in hand. And what a wonderful, wonderful story it's been. It's like just like living a dream.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you know, we're coming up on the holidays here,
Yes.
and people are frantically looking for something to buy for that special somebody in
Yes.
their life. And, you know, holidays sometimes bring engagements. It's like that special gift underneath the tree.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the diamond area here
Mm-hmm.
and the different types of options people have now in affordability.
Sure.
So in today's world, you have what I call the natural diamond
Yes.
from the mines, and then you have lab diamonds,
Yes.
which are made in a controlled environment. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about the similarities, yet the differences?
So when you're looking at a natural diamond versus the lab created diamond, you really can't see a difference. I mean, I can't tell unless we send it for testing, or we have a tester that'll let us know that it's lab created.
Mm-hmm.
So it really does serve a purpose depending upon your budget and what you want to spend. We do sell a lot of natural diamonds as well, and for that special bride that you're wanting to give that to, it's just a matter of your choice.
Right, and I think, you know, when you talk about, you know, people in today's society may be on the budget,
Yes.
and they still want that ring that shows
Yes.
and it pops.
Yes.
So let's say somebody wants to get like a 3-carat natural diamond. About how much would that run in a round?
You could spend $30,000, $40,000.
Wow, okay, so if they opted to go with one from the lab, a 3-carat from the lab, what would that?
You know, $5,000-$6,000.
Wow, what a
Trem-
significant
tremendous
difference.
difference,
And
yes.
yet I know to a lot of people, to the naked eye, they cannot tell
Cannot tell.
the difference. It still has that bling, it still has that shimmer,
Yes.
which is great. One of the things that I really like about your store is that people come in and, you know, with different fingers and rings, you do special kind of moldings if you're doing a custom ring. How does
Absolutely.
that work?
You know, we'll create a design for them that they want to look at. So they let us know what their tastes are and the styles, and so we'll put that together with the CAD, and then we'll grow the wax, and we'll present that to the customer. It doesn't cost them anything.
Oh, that's great.
And if they like it, we'll cast it, and we'll tell them what the price would be. Or if they want changes, we'll make as many changes as they want until we get just what they like.
Oh,
And that's what we
excellent.
do. I mean, it really is very satisfying to be able to make that person feel like you're treated above and beyond, and that's what we do.
That's great. Well, one of the things I noticed here in the studio we've been staring at right here are these little precious babies right here. Tell us a little bit about the special drawing that you're having.
So on December 24th, we're going to be giving away a pair of diamond earrings. That's total 1 carat, and those are natural diamonds, and the value of that is $3,000 retail value. And some lucky person will win that this holiday season. There's no purchase necessary. You just come in, fill out your name and phone number, and we'll draw it, and we're going to give it away.
Wow.
And that's what we want to do.
That sounds
Kind of give back. Yeah.
And you know what? I know that you do quite a bit because
Sure.
I have come to you before with different charity affiliations, and you've always been so good about giving back to the community. Truly exceptional. One of the other things too is when you walk into the jewelry store, because it can be overwhelming.
Yes.
You have different designers, people who are known for certain types of looks, like David Yurman and other types of people. Who are some of the designers that you carry within your jewelry store?
You know, we have Roberto Coin in there, which has been very popular. That's a very beautiful designer line from Italy. And then we have Shy Creation, which has won many awards. We also carry Gabrielle and Company. Very nice designs that are very affordable. So, you know, we try to have something for everyone. And I never want to make that person feel like they can't afford something. If you would like it, we'd love to sell it to you. But we don't want to make you feel like, you know, this is something I shouldn't buy or I can't afford. So we've
Right.
got something for everyone who really wants to buy that special gift for that special person.
Do you have certain payment plans or options
We
for
do.
people?
Yeah, we offer 1 year no interest through 2 different banks, and it's very quick and easy, and that way they can spread it out over 12 months with no interest. So we offer that. Yes.
That is absolutely fascinating.
Great way to buy something.
Okay, so, you know, a lot of people are, when they go in, like I said, they'll walk in and then they're greeted by someone. And then at that point, what knowledge and what background do most of your gemologists have?
Well, our sales associates have been there many years, and they're very experienced in what they do, and they've had their diamond certification. So when they're telling you what the color and clarity is, they know what they're talking about.
Sure.
And all of our diamonds come graded, either GIA, EGL, or IGI, and they're there, and we pull the certificates up and let them see it. But the best way to do, I feel, when you're buying that special diamond, whether it's lab created or natural, is just look at the stone, because it's a matter of opinion. So when you look at it, if it catches your eye and that beauty, it just sparks you, you know that's the right stone for you. And many times we'll pull out 2 or 3 or 4, and they're looking at that and they'll say, you know, I really like the way that looks. And I have to agree with them. So they're all unique.
Well, and speaking of things, you know, when people come in and let's say they get engaged,
Yes.
and the ring isn't exactly the right size. Do you have somebody there who
Yes,
can?
Yes, we size it on premise, and we take care of that for them. And many times, if they need it and it's for that special occasion, we can. If they come in the morning, by that evening, we can do that on special request. We try to get it done that same day if they need it, and it's called for. So yes.
Okay, so
Right
the vault is located, I know, right by CVS
Yes.
in Fig Garden Village on the corner of Palm and Shaw. If people want to look at your website, where would they go? If they want to look at your-
thevaultjewelers.com, and you'll find it there. Just Google it; it'll pop up, or Google or just,
And they can always call too, because
Yes,
I know that
yes.
you or your lovely wife
Yes,
Elaine will be
yeah.
there, or one of your sales associates to answer any questions that are needed.
Yeah, we'll guide you through it. The most important thing I can say in concluding today is we want our customers to feel at home, at ease, and just feel like family. And if we can do that, I'd say we've done our job, and we feel good about what we do.
Well, I wish you continued success, because
Thank you.
40 years is nothing to sneeze at. That's actually a really good run, and it's
Yes.
going to continue to go strong, because
We enjoy it.
Yes, and that's what it's all about. You love what you do, and you
Yes.
do what you love, and you make the customers feel at home.
And we love people.
There you do.
We sure do.
All righty. Well,
All right.
this is Hope Roski with Business, Arts, and Events. Hello, this is Hope Broski with Business, Arts, and Events. Well, do you remember a special teacher, especially if you were at Fresno Unified? Well, this gentleman here, Brad Huff, was one of those special teachers who taught many, many years and is a part of the California Retired Teachers Association. Welcome to the show, Brad.
Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. I mean, special connection here is that he worked with my mother, who was the director of Gifted for many years when you were starting at Edison Computech, correct?
Right.
And you taught science
Math.
and math. Oh, bless your heart, my two worst subjects, but I probably would have done well in your class.
Absolutely right.
So tell me, because you know there are people who had that special teacher in their life and maybe want to somehow reconnect. And tell me a little bit about the Retired Teachers Association.
Well, the California Retired Teachers Association was founded like 60, 70 years ago. So it's been around for a long time. And I heard about the chorus when I was busy. And so about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I thought, oh, I should go over and reconnect. So I started singing with the retired chorus. And we rehearse on, Thursday mornings at about from 9:30 to 11:30. It's a good group. It's about 40 retired teachers, but you don't have to be a retired teacher to sing the chorus.
Oh, okay, well that's good.
You just need to like to sing and join us. We rehearse at the Trinity Lutheran Church at the corner of Cedar and Dakota, basically. And anyway, so we're doing a holiday concert
Sure.
next Wednesday at the Trinity Lutheran Church for basically the members of the retired teachers, but anybody is welcome to come. And it's going to be a good concert. We've got some interesting music.
Okay, so what are some of the songs that you might be performing?
Oh golly, I'll have.
You're going to have to, he's going to have to go look in his very special book here to find out that
Right.
information.
Well, let me see. We're singing It's Christmas Time Again, Sing Noel, Pat a Pan, which includes a couple of 400 a Child is Born from the Messiah, as well as Sing We Now a Christmas. Shepherd's Rocking Carol, that's a good number. And then Deck the Hall, but it's in 5/4 time, which is like you should take 5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sure.
Usually it's 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, but it's 5/4 time. A Holly Jolly Christmas or Holly Jolly Celebration, and then let me see, the Star Carol, the Lights of Hanukkah,
Oh, that's great. So
Frosty the Snowman.
Frosty the Snowman, that's one of my favorites. I love Frosty the Snowman, and
Right.
that's a great one.
And then the closing number is Where Are You Christmas? So they're good. They're nice songs, and I think we'll sing them well. And anyway, the concert is Wednesday. November 11th? I guess it is.
December.
December 11th.
December 11th. No,
Let me
yes,
make
it's
sure I got that right.
yes, it's Wednesday, and that will be December the 11th, 10:30 at the Trinity Church. Okay.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is it free? Are you
The
asking?
concert is free.
Are you asking for any sort of donations or
It'd
things?
be nice.
And what would the donations be used for if people do want to make a contribution?
Well, to purchase music and cover some of the expenses.
Right, and and it does take, people don't realize that you do have to purchase the sheet music, and that does cost money, and so those donations are definitely appreciated.
Right.
So if there's some retired teachers out there or people who just like to sing, how would they be able to get in touch with you in order to be able to join the group?
Oh, well, I think that, I'm trying to think. There's a website which I think is up. It's calrtafresno.org.
Right.
And if you just go to that website, you can contact the organization. And the thing is, you don't have to be a retired teacher to belong to the retired teacher. We have a lot of husbands or wives,
Okay,
because
great.
their spouses were teachers, but they belong to the organization. And we do a lot of good things. They say, if you go to the website, we recently, well, first of all, there are a lot of people who don't even know about retired teachers. That's the logo. You might want to hold that
Okay,
up.
so that's for Caltra right there.
And we give, $6,000 scholarships, I think it is, to 5 people.
Wow.
And these are people who are currently in their last year, their 5th year of college to get their credential. And so you see the several people from one person from Fresno Pacific, National, and 3 others from Fresno Pacific. So they have to fill out some information and so on.
Sure.
And
So, and to get, and as a person who received her teaching degree from California State University, Fresno, it is a 5-year program. You get your first 4 years in liberal studies, basically, and then you start working on your credential. Some people have what they call a clear multiple subjects credential, where you can get regular ed and special ed clearance. But it does basically take a year if you push through.
Right. And then we once a month we have a program, and you might hold that up. That's Barbara Mendez, and Barbara Mendez's parents were in movies in the 1930s in Los Angeles, and they danced with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and one thing or another. And she gave a program last month where she had video and so on, and sometimes her parents, I mean, they were not stars, but they were good enough to appear in these movies and so on. And Barbara, she was with at Fresno City College. They do this thing for the older performers and so on.
Oh, is it the Wrinkles?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
New Wrinkles. Yes, they're darling, absolutely
she
darling.
was a tap dancer and did a lot of stuff and so on. So it was a delightful program to have her show pictures and movies, clips of the movies that her parents were in. So once a month we get together, and it's called a general meeting, and they have a program. Sometimes it's musical groups and so on, so it's bluegrass or Dixieland or something like that. And other times it's people talking about things that would be of interest. So anyway, and the main thing is there are a lot of people, retired teachers, who don't even know about the organization.
Right.
And about, 10 years or so ago, the districts and the Fresno County Office of Education, they used to make the list of retirees available so we could then contact them if they wanted to join the organization.
Sure.
But then when the privacy laws came out and one thing and another, so now they are unwilling to give this contact information. So consequently, recruiting new members, finding out who's retired and so
Right.
on, has been a bit of a challenge. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to come in and be interviewed today, was to let people know that if you have parents, or if you yourself are a retired teacher and you don't know about this organization, you should check out calrtafresno.org.
Well, I know I will. Although I retired as a teacher from a different state, my mom is a retired educator
Right.
here in California, and so is my stepdad. And so, no, I think this is a great way to unify people who had, who were in education, or who knew others, or who know of others in education, and especially if they want to sing and enjoy music and perform, and you go to different places in the valley. And I think it's wonderful. What a great way to have a camaraderie and do something amazing for the community.
Right, and after our general program, I think we're set with 3 or 4 concerts that we give at various nursing homes and retirement homes and so on in the Fresno area.
Well, once again, if you even have a business and you're looking for a group to perform at your holiday get-together, please reach out to Brad. I think, and this is California Retired Teachers Association, it would be great to have these teachers come out and perform for you. They have a great selection of holiday music, and I just, kudos to you for keeping the group together and keeping it moving forward.
And then one last thing, the last spring, our repertoire last spring all dealt with weather. And so I contacted Golden Charter Academy, because they have an emphasis on science and
Sure.
so on, and the environment. And so I said, sure. So the chorus went out, and we sang all our weather songs to the children at Golden Charter Academy.
Well, that's great that you do such a wonderful outreach program. Well, Brad Huff, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
This is Hope Roski with Business, Arts, and Events.